if you're in the Christmas spirit here, Christmas time, holiday, why don't you give me the gift of subscribing to my channel? Maybe give it a little like, little comment, something like that. I'd very much appreciate that, and it won't cost you a thing. Now, just in time for Christmas, the FDA has now approved 2 vaccines to battle the coronavirus epidemic. But if you think a COVID vaccine would make the perfect stocking stuffer, well, think again. Religious folks are pumping the brakes on the new COVID-19 vaccine. They say that at least one company working on the COVID vaccine is using cells derived from an 18-week-old fetus aborted in 1985, and are asking the government to encourage and incentivize the development of vaccines using cells that are not ethically problematic. Which goes to show you they might not be as pro-life as they claim to be. Now, honestly, I get that we all need to respect each other's viewpoints. And, but some religious folks might be getting a little out of hand during this whole pandemic. And it's just, it's one of those things. Like, I'm not the most religious guy in the world. I am very proud to say that I just got baptized a few months ago, and it's been great to explore more about my faith. But one of the core principles about, being a Christian is loving thy neighbor. And during this pandemic, it seems to me that there have been times where, some religious organizations have, not exactly been very, very neighborly, right? During this pandemic, religious leaders have sued to stop states' restrictions to stop the pandemic. And they've actually won. In a 5-4 ruling, the newly conservative Supreme Court, with Amy Coney Barrett being the deciding vote, has barred New York and essentially all other states in general from placing restrictions on religious institutions to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Essentially what happened in New York here was that there was a really bad outbreak, and there was a church that was in the vicinity of this outbreak. And the deal was that, okay, things were so bad there that, all right, we're going to put on some very harsh restrictions. They took it to court, and now the Supreme Court has basically overruled the state there, which means that every other state in the country, their COVID restrictions could also be called into question. And again, don't call me crazy, but suing the government to allow you to reopen and spread COVID-19 just doesn't seem very neighborly, right? But it isn't just churches that seem to be fighting back against COVID-19 restrictions. I gotta admit, that's a little catchy there. That rocking party was a synagogue in New York where 7,000 people packed in for a wedding. It's not the best thing to do in a state that leads the nation with COVID-19 deaths, right? And the real problem here is with the numbers. The coronavirus vaccine currently approved, both of the coronavirus vaccines currently approved and are both 90% effective, but no one knows for how long. And for the pandemic to truly end, we need at least 70 to 75% of people to actually take it, which at this point, in general, seems like quite a bit of a long shot there, So if some religious folks are deciding to back out because of their objections to a fetus being used that was aborted more than, 30 years ago, we could all be screwed. At this point, it'll be a miracle in and of itself if we'll hit that 70 threshold. But again, not very neighborly. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics, the news, and all the stuff that's going on in our country?